a car that powers itself. Never needing gas, never needing a charge. Too good to be true, right? Maxwell's self-powered car has been hailed as the biggest leap in automotive history, yet slammed as a fraud, a scam, and even called impossible by critics. But are those criticisms actually valid? Today, we're pulling apart the 5 most brutal accusations against Maxwell's car. By the end of this video, you'll know if this invention is a once-in-a-century revolution or just a beautifully packaged illusion. If you love uncovering the truth behind disruptive technology, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. When Maxwell's car was first unveiled, headlines exploded. A self-powered car? The promise of infinite range? Media called it the death of gas stations and the Tesla killer. Investors poured in, fans hailed it as the end of the fossil fuel era. But for every headline praising it, another called it a hoax. From YouTube skeptics to energy experts, the backlash was fierce. And that's where the 5 criticisms began. Let's start with the most famous one, the so-called perpetual motion myth. The loudest criticism? Maxwell's car is nothing more than a perpetual motion machine. And since perpetual motion defies the laws of physics, it must be fake. Sounds convincing, until you dig deeper. Because here's the twist. Maxwell's car isn't claiming perpetual motion at all. What it does is harvest energy in ways most cars don't. Think regenerative braking, solar collection, and advanced thermal harvesting, all working in harmony. It doesn't create energy out of thin air. It captures and reuses energy that's usually wasted. That's the genius. Critics calling it perpetual motion are missing the entire point. But fine, if it's not perpetual motion, what about the numbers? Because that leads us to the second major attack. Skeptics argue that the car's reported efficiency simply doesn't add up. They say the math breaks the rules. But here's what they overlook. Maxwell's system isn't just about one source of power. It's about layers. Energy recovery, ultracapacitors, AI-driven energy management that decides in real time where every ounce of power should go. That's why the numbers seem unbelievable, because the system is working smarter, not harder. Now, experts have compared its performance to existing EVs, and while Maxwell's claims are ambitious, they're not pure fantasy. The key is optimization across multiple sources, not magic. And here's something I want to ask you. Do you think these efficiency numbers are revolutionary, or just exaggerated marketing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading. And if you want more clarity on disruptive tech before the world catches on, hit that subscribe button and join our community of truth seekers. Next comes the question of scale. It's one thing to build a prototype. It's another to mass-produce a car that defies the industry standard. Critics say Maxwell's design is too complex, too expensive, and too risky to build at scale. And they're not entirely wrong. Mass production is the graveyard of many innovations. But here's what's happening behind the scenes. Maxwell has already secured major manufacturing partners, attracted billions in funding, and begun setting up facilities. Challenges remain: supply chain bottlenecks, chip shortages, and government approvals, but there's progress. Unlike vaporware startups that collapse after hype, Maxwell is moving forward piece by piece. Which brings us to the next criticism. Even if they build it, will it survive the real world? A car can promise anything in a lab, but the road is a brutal truth-teller. Critics argue Maxwell's tech won't last against weather, long drives, and years of wear. And to be fair, durability is a huge unknown. But pilot tests in multiple climates have shown the system working consistently: snow, heat, heavy traffic. The technology isn't flawless, but the core idea is proving itself. Still, there's one more storm brewing, and it has nothing to do with physics. It has everything to do with power, economic power. Maxwell's car doesn't just threaten old technology, it threatens entire empires. Oil giants, auto manufacturers, and even governments stand to lose billions if a self-powered car becomes mainstream. Is it any wonder, then, that skepticism has been amplified? Lobbying, industry-funded think tanks, and relentless negative press. Some of the criticism may not be pure science, but rather fear of disruption. After all, history has shown, when an invention threatens profit, resistance is guaranteed. So the real question isn't just whether Maxwell's car works. It's whether the world will let it. We've tackled the 5 biggest criticisms: perpetual motion, efficiency math, scalability, durability, and industry pushback. Some criticisms hold weight. Production and durability are real hurdles. But the perpetual motion myth? Wrong. The efficiency debate? More complicated than skeptics admit. Here's what's clear. Maxwell's car isn't a scam. It's a bold, imperfect, but very real attempt at rewriting the rules of mobility. And now, I'll leave you with this. If cars no longer need fuel, no gas, no charging stations, what does that do to our cities, our economies, even our politics? That's the question Maxwell's invention forces us to confront. So tell me in the comments, do you believe Maxwell's car is the future of driving, or just a clever illusion? And if you want to stay ahead of these debates, make sure you subscribe, because the next chapter in technology is only just beginning.